Hello, everyone, and welcome. Everyone liked this Boo Crew card so much that I decided to make another project with it. So we're going to use Boo Crew and Bewitched, and we're going to make a fun Halloween banner. And I've got these banner pieces all die cut out here. I used a banner die set from Cat Scrappiness, which I will link in the description box below. And I've got all my bits and pieces here, and I've just got it on my little, this is my metal shim for my Empress. I had them lay it on my glass mat, and it was easy to just kind of swipe them off my glass mat onto this thin shim here, and that's so I could collect them all and clean off my mat so I could get started with video. So I've got part of the cat assembled there, and I'm pulling the little pieces for the ears. I'm gonna do the 3 ghost, the Boo Crew, and I'm gonna do 2 of the Bewitched cats, and we're gonna have 5 banners on our banner. And I've just taken some cardstock and some vellum, and I've just used the different layers of the banner die and just layered up, each size that I've created for my banner. Now we're just going to get to assembling. I've got the eyes on the cat already. In my opinion, the eyes are what makes the cat. Those eyes are just very interesting. And then we've got the little earpieces that we're going to get put on here. And this is going to be super cute. So here's our little cat. That's the first one assembled. We'll go ahead and put the second one together. The eyes, there are 3 pieces to the eyes. You've got, I'm getting the whiskers on the cat. I realized I didn't get the whiskers on the cat yet, so we'll get them pressed on there. They're super cute. I also think you could maybe make some wild-looking eyelashes with them. I might have mentioned that in the last video, but that could be fun too. So we'll get that one laid down on there. Then we'll begin building our second cat. So very cute. So I've got, one of the decorative elements for my banner already put together. I'm going to put together the second cat, and then we'll get our ghost together. We're going to do some blending on the ghost and just get these all assembled, and we'll get them on our banner. So the eyes, the white piece of the eyes, it has kind of like a pointed side to it. So you want to get that point laid down on the cat according to the deboss detail on the black part of the cat. There's a real good impression so you can see how to line up your eyes, which make it really nice. And then on the white, there's a real nice impression on how you need to lay your green down. So you need to poke the little piece out of the green there and then get it laid down. So this video that I ran of the Boo Crew and the Bewitched really took off. The Boo Crew video had huge success for my channel. I appreciate each and every one of you that watched it, and you really liked that card. And I think since a lot of people bought that set, I thought it might be fun to show some different ways that you could use the set apart from a card. And so that's why I've chosen to do this banner video. And just to give you an idea, if you're having a little Halloween party or you like to decorate for the holiday like I do, it might be cute to have like a little banner that you could hang from your mantle or on your wall or a door frame or something like that. And, I'm only doing 5 banners here. You could certainly make it bigger if you wanted to, but I was just trying to keep it, for video time's sake, just keep it down. But I just think you could do lots of decorations and things with this set, as well as, card making. And it's, certainly could be fun in your scrapbooking too if you do that. So if you take Halloween pictures of, the kiddos and you want to do a page with them, you could certainly add these to it for some super fun. So lots of uses for this set apart from just making a card. You certainly could decorate your treat bags with them. I like to make fancy little treat bags, and I think you could do that with these. You certainly could do it with these banners, too. You could just, instead of hanging it on a banner, you could punch a hole in it, put a bow and a string, and attach it to a treat bag for the trick-or-treaters, and that would certainly be fun. Now, I don't do it for all my trick-or-treaters, but I do it for my family trick-or-treaters that come in. I like to make special bags for them and decorate them up fun and have just fun things in it for them. So that's an idea too. So for the ghost, we are going to do some ink blending. I'll go get a blending brush and some of my black soot Distress Oxide ink, and we will get to blending on these and just adding a little bit of shadow to them. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble them. On the last video, I blended them before I assembled, and then I assembled them. You can do it either way. It works out just fine. I guess I was just kind of being quick with it here. And I'm just going to add some of the black soot around the bottom just to add, you know, some extra interest to it and to highlight the dimension and the etchings that they have there on the die that show up. So once I get them glued down, just put a little ink on there. I'm just inking it up and tapping it off in the lid so that I don't have any stark brush marks on the ghost. Trying to get them lined up well. And then just add a little more ink, and we'll just clean up this mess, and then we'll come back and we'll get to working with these. So now comes the really fun time when we get to put all the bells and whistles on them and just make them look cute. You know, they've got the glasses, the ties, all the little different things that make them look cute. And this, I will get the faces right on this and get the pumpkin right. On the last video, I missed the pumpkin, and I actually put the pumpkin's face in the back of one of the ghosts, but it doesn't matter. You just need something to cover up the eyes and the mouth to make them pop. But there is a backer piece for each one of these ghosts that fit perfectly if you use the right ones. So we'll get those laid down on there, and this is where you can really see their facial expressions. It just really makes it pop. And then that one that has the tooth is so cute. So I know a lot of you ordered this set. You have to let me know in the comments, have you received it, and have you already worked with it, and what kind of fun things are you making with it? Just be interested in hearing if you're enjoying working with it. So it's a super, super cute set. I think you can still get the pieces individually. Someone said the bundle of them were sold out, which I'm not surprised. It is such a super cute set, but I am still seeing the individual pieces available on the site. So just getting all the little bits and pieces assembled. Now we've got the hat here, and I love it. I think it's super cute. And I've die cut the kind of the decorative elements out of either purple or green for, you know, the trims, the eyeglasses, the pumpkins, the ties, and the sentiments, so that we can add some purples and some greens to our little banners. Now I use the black, the gray, the pink, and then the vellum for the banners, and so I'm using the little add-ons here for the little pop of color. Now here I've got a pair of purple glasses that I think is going to look super cute on this guy, and I put the purple trim on his hat. Isn't that cute? So fun. You can really have fun with color. Halloween doesn't have to be all black and orange. Certainly you can add, you know, different colors to it and just really have fun with it. So here I'm going to use the green for this hat. And then we'll get it laid down. And I'm looking at my card and trying to put the hats and the glasses on different ghosts, just so that I can see how they look, you know, differently with the hats and stuff, since I used them one way on the card. I'm going to use them a different way this way. And then for their cheeks, instead of getting the little pink circles, I'm just going to use the purple and the green that, you know, they actually die cut out with, I think, the glasses, the cheeks die cut out. So if you want them a different color, you have to run, you know, do a second press through them. But I just thought I'm going to use what I've got here and just make them really look interesting. So it is Spellbinders cardstock that I'm using there. So a lot of times when you use the Spellbinders, you can get it to stay in your paper until you're ready to use it, which is kind of handy for the small pieces so that you don't lose them. Sometimes those little bits will fall out and, you know, lay on your desk, and then all of a sudden you think you've got, you know, a scrap piece or something laying there, and you might brush it off, and it was something you really needed. So anyway, aren't they cute, the little glasses? I think I wind up putting the spectacle on the third pumpkin as well for fun. And I'm tucking his cheeks in. I did it again. I laid some glasses down without putting the cheeks down first. So pro tip, put the cheeks on before you put the glasses on. Don't do what I do. There we go. still works out. The glue wasn't set. So we've got basically all of our elements for our banners, because I've got 5 banners there, and I'm going to put one little person on each banner and create just a really fun little banners. I'm going to put my pumpkin together, and I've got my handle to my pumpkin. And I need to put the arms on the ghost. I've not yet put them on, so we'll get those put on there. There's our little pumpkin. And I'm just looking at my bits and pieces and seeing, here's the arms, and I'm just going to get them laid down on there, and we'll glue them on. Just added a little shading to them as well. And it kind of looks like the pumpkin saying hi. Super cute, or welcome, or boo, you know, whatever. And so we've got a second set of arms we're going to use. If you want all of them to have arms, you certainly can die cut out a, you know, a third set, but I think it's fun to leave one without. That one looks like he's waving the way his hand is positioned. So I'm just kind of cleaning off my mess there, and I'm going to get to assembling and putting them on my banners. And I have a little trouble with my storage on my camera, and at the very end I lose a little bit of footage, but I'm able to come back in and show you the completed banners. But we get to almost the very end before it kind of conked out on me. So stay tuned, and you will see a cute little banner stream that I can use to hang for Halloween. And you could do all kinds of things. If you had those rosettes, I don't know if you saw Nicole Spore's video yesterday. She did some rosettes and put some ghosts on there, and they were super cute. You could certainly do that with these as well if your rosettes are large enough. I thought I had some rosettes, but I did a quick look and I didn't have any. But I had these banner tags from Cat Scrappiness, and I thought, oh, these will work great. And it's fun to mix and match your products. You don't, you know, a lot of times my videos, because I'm doing a sponsored video, I'll keep just, you know, that particular brand in the video. But really, that's not how we craft. We've got all of these things in our craft room that we can pull together. And I think when you do that, it really makes for some interesting cards, and it's fun, you know, to use all of your different products that are in your craft room. So I encourage you to take a look at what you've got and mix them up and see what kind of interesting things you can create with your various products. And it's fun to just have a good play. I tell my husband, I'm going to go play with my toys, because these are my toys. That one I didn't think was straight, so I went ahead and lifted it up. I'm going to lay it back down, and then we'll get this laid down on there. Super cute. So I've got 5 of them, and oh, I didn't get this one attached. We'll get it glued down, and then we will get our little guys laid down on our banners, and we'll add some sentiments, and we'll have a cute little banner for our Halloween decor. There we go. So I'm going to go ghost, cat, ghost, cat, ghost is how I'm going to do it. And I'm looking because I'm thinking I want to add something extra. I didn't get a tie on him, so I'm going to add the little bow tie in the green. And we'll get him laid down on there. So fun. And this cat, I didn't put a hat on. I thought we don't have to put a hat on every cat. We can just leave it plain, and then you can get a real good view of the cat's ears and his forehead and stuff. So we'll get him laid down on there. And then we're going to bring in another ghost. And for this one, we'll put the pumpkin in his arms. And that'll add just a little extra fun to it. And then here's our ghost with our hat. Now, I have some other, the Cuckoo Clock add-ons has a Halloween set, and there's a spider and a bat and different things like that that would be fun to add to these as well. So I encourage you to just look at your products and see what else you have that you might add to make it be fun, to add some extra fun elements to this. You don't have to just stick to one or two sets. This is just two sets from Simon Hurley, the Bewitched and the Boo Crew, and then I've got the nested fishtail banners from Cat Scrappiness that I'm using here. And so we're going to put Happy Halloween on the center one, and I'll add Boo to one of the other banners, and that might be where we've kind of lost footage or whatever. I think I just get this laid down and then my camera decides that it's too full and it stops recording. I thought I had lost all of the footage when I realized what had happened, and I was so sad. But then when I went back, I realized I did get the vast amount of it. And so here's where I came back in, and I'm going to add each of our little banners here to some string that I had in my stash. I used to make mug rugs, and I always bought a bunch of this jute string or whatever. And so what I'm doing here is I'm counting 5 inches between each one of these, and that way I've got them equally spaced out. That's one of the things that's nice about your glass mat is you can just use it to measure. I'm just roughly just counting. I'm lining it up and then counting squares, and I'm laying it on the 5th square, so I'll have 4 inches between it. And here I'm like, did I do 4? Did I do 4? I was trying to remember, did I lay it on the 5 or did I lay it past the 5? So I was just double checking myself. So we'll do it again. We're going to get this one laid down on here. And then we're going to come back in and we're going to add some ribbon. I've got some ribbon up the top of my desk there, and we're just going to kind of embellish it a little bit more. I had just some different black and white. I didn't have that color pink. It would have been fun to bring that in, or even a green in with it, but I didn't have those colors, and I'm just using what's in my stash. So I'm just going to go with the black and white, and we've got just a plain black, and then we've got a decorative white lace that I got from my girlfriend Daria, and then I'm bringing in some baker's twine, and I'm going to just tie a little knot in here and create a little tie. And then once we get all of these laid down on here, we'll come back and we will fishtail these and give them a nice finish on the ends of the black ones. So we'll just get these all tied up, and I think it just adds some extra. If I'd have had more of it, I'd have put one on each side of the outside of it, but I just used what I have. Certainly if I was, going to go shopping for it, I could have gotten, more a ribbon and then just really tied it up, but I'm just using what's in my stash. And I've got a good amount of ribbon in there that sits in there and really needs to be used. So it was good to get in there and dig some out and to use it. Now this one I didn't get tied right, and I'm going to fuss with it for a minute, try and untie it, and then I just think, heck with it, you've got more of this baker twine, just cut it off and then bring in another piece. So that's what I do. I didn't get it tight enough, and I didn't like it, so we're just going to bring in another one and we'll just tighten it up. I think this adds to the banner. I think it makes it cute and just makes it a little bit more fuller. So you can do it however you want it, but I just thought this was a neat idea. So we'll get these tied off on here, then we'll snip the edges and kind of clean it up. I don't even know what this black ribbon was from. It was just a strip that was laying in the bin. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys ever get like sheets or tablecloths or stuff like that from like TJ Maxx, and they have ribbon wrapped around them for the packaging. I always take those and put them in my stash, because usually they've got white ribbon or black ribbon or whatever, and you can certainly use that. So I'm pretty sure that's what this is. It was something that was maybe holding a stack of towels or a stack of sheets or something, and I just untied it and threw it in my bin because it didn't have a roll on it or anything, but I think it came out cute. So this is another idea you can use for your Boo Crew. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.